Hello, my lovelies. It's me, author Alexandria Infante. So, I said that I was going to do a 6 series little, I guess, info dump on the books that I write. So, the next one up is Midna's Fairy Tale. Well, actually, the series is called A Light Fairy Tale Series. So, this series here is about Fae. Dark Fae versus Light Fae. And Midna is a college professor who just happens to be minding her business. And one night, she's teaching summer school at one of the local high schools, and she's mugged, or almost mugged. But she's not mugged by a human. She's mugged by a sort of demigod who is after an amulet that she wears, which was given to her by her grandmother, who in the battle of the Brothers' Mill, she was one of the witches who helped to turn the tide and basically allowed the Tuftana Fae to basically succeed. So the grandmother has an ancient history with them. Now, Midna does not know that she is a witch, an elemental witch. She has no clue. She has no backstory for that, and because of the fact that her mother does not want to admit that she is magically inclined, she forbid Midna to basically, visit, hang around, be with her nana. And so because she did that, she was never able to be trained, and she doesn't know that she's a witch. So during the mugging, San Francisco Police Department shows up. San Fernando Police Department shows up, and the detective who basically stops her from beating this demigod down is Faye. And it's Prince Kheelen. Prince Kheelen is he's heir to the Seelie, or Sheehy, if you want to be, appropriate or correct. He's heir to the Sheehy throne, but he doesn't want to be king. He has no dealings with the light courts, and even though his father is king, he doesn't want to be. So he pretty much runs away. He asks his father if he can spend 4 years for university in the human world, and basically his dad's like, fine, because centuries ago, him and his brother Kheelen, his twin, they got into it over the woman that Kheelen was in love with, but she was in love with Kheelen, and she didn't want to marry Kheelen, and he forced her bond. And because he forced her bond, a bunch of drama started, and then they got into a fight, Kheelen and Kheelen, and in that fight, Elonde winds up being unalived. And so for centuries, Kheelen has blamed Kheelen for the death of his wife, which it's not Khelen's fault. Anyway, so in this series, it crosses over with Teacher Between Midnight and Dawn, because it is one of those mamas, cousins, brothers, sisters, whatever, because Midna and Kheelen are cousins. Midna and Kheelen are biracial. Their mother is African American and their father is Jewish. And so basically, all the series that I write are interracial, and the main female, even with any of the races that she might be, there is always going to be an African American element, because I'm Creole Puerto Rican. So it's in all of my books. And so the main character she can be Portuguese and Colombian, but she'll also have some African American or Puerto Rican. So I write characters that are biracial, multiracial, triracial, whatever I feel like. And so this is Dark Fae and Light versus Light Fae, basically. And You will get myths because I teach philosophy, so there's a lot of Irish myths in here. You get, it says reverse harem, but it's not reverse harem until book 5. Actually, book 7, I'm sorry. So this is a very, very slow, like ice cold reverse harem, because you don't get those elements until book 7. And me and the cover artist had issues because he put this on here when it wasn't supposed to be on this book. This was not supposed to be on here until like the 7th book. But the price of this cover, yeah, I was using this bitch regardless. So, but I'm letting you know that the reverse harem element doesn't come into book 7. And this series crosses over with Teaching Between Midnight and Dawn, but it doesn't cross over with Teaching Between Midnight and Dawn until book 6. And that's because Kailen and Midna are cousins. And then you get their entire backstory. I mean, you get their backstory in here, but not the backstory between the cousins and why they have no clue that they're witches. Because each of them it's Midna, Kailen, and Michaela. And they are elemental witches, but they didn't have any clue. And then Big Mama shows up later on in the series. But this is a 9-book series so far. There are 9 books in the series. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't write small series. I'm trying. I'm working. I have a series that's coming out pretty soon. It's called it's a Heavenly Paranormal, and you are going to get a 3-book series, which are The Wolf of Heaven, The Hound of Hell, and the basically the Equalizer. He's a Nephilim. So you're going to have the Archangel Michael, Lucy, of course, and then the Nephilim that is in between. He's the guard. That's what that book's called, the Guardian in Between, because he's between those two. So anyway, back to this. That's pretty much it. So that's this series. It is a paranormal light fae versus dark fae, and you should check it out. It's called Midna's Fairy Tale, Prince Kailen, because Prince Kailen doesn't want to be king, so he ran away. And then that comes back to bite him in the you know what later on in the book series.